quarantine here in the U.S. on 3 military bases in California so far. We are expecting 2 more flights to bring Americans out of Wuhan
너무
to the
피곤합니다.
U.S. But there are Americans trapped in quarantine in many places, not just here in the States, around the world. Take a look. Today, for thousands of passengers on 2 cruise ships, it's total lockdown. The coronavirus outbreak turning these luxury liners off Hong Kong and Japan into floating prisons.
Donald Trump, save us. Get us a government-based airplane.
Not even that, just like
Get us off the ship.
The newlyweds are among the 428 Americans quarantined on the Diamond Princess. The trip of a lifetime, now a living nightmare. At least 20 confirmed cases on board, 3 Americans among them. The infected taken to hospitals, the rest confined to their rooms for 2 weeks. The World Health Organization is struggling to contain the outbreak. 12 confirmed cases in the US, more than 28,000 worldwide. The death toll more than 560 and climbing.
To put it bluntly, we're shadowboxing.
In China, state media reporting 2 newborns infected with the virus, raising the possibility of it spreading from mother to unborn child. 2 planes carrying Americans from Wuhan back to the States arrived at military bases in California on Wednesday. All of the passengers now under quarantine at the bases for the next 2 weeks.
14 days is hard, but 14 days is better than 14 weeks.
In San Diego, Ken Burnett has been desperately waiting for his wife and 2 children, trapped in Wuhan for weeks, now quarantined at the Miramar Air Base.
But for the people of Wuhan,
They don't get flights out.
they don't get flights out.
The Pentagon has just announced 11 military sites across the United States where they will be able to host quarantined patients. This is not from the evacuation flights, but rather any patients that need to be quarantined. And these sites are all located near major airports. Meanwhile, we are waiting for 2 more additional flights out of Wuhan. They have departed just a little while ago. They're expected to land overnight here in the U.S., eventually making their ways to Texas, as well as, pardon me, I forget the other one, but we do know that these are supposed to be the last 2 flights out of Wuhan, so any Americans who are still trapped in that country will not be able to get out. Cyril, Isa,
Lucy Cavanaugh, thank you very much. Appreciate it, Lucy.
Thank you. And if they just watched your report, well, those who are coming to those bases, they know what's
What to
awaiting them.
expect, yeah.
All right, meanwhile, experts from around the world will be trying to come up with a comprehensive research agenda for the coronavirus. In Hong Kong, health workers remember the SARS outbreak all too well, and so do former patients. Christy Lou Stout reports.
Even after nearly 2 decades, former SARS patient Alex Lam is haunted by his experience.
I was put in a big room with many other patients. I heard some coughing at night, crying, and that's really sad. It's really sad.
SARS infected around 8,000 people globally and killed 774, nearly half of them in Hong Kong. The isolation of cases eventually led to the end of the outbreak. The new coronavirus outbreak is already larger than SARS, and unprecedented measures are in place to control it. The rapid construction of hospitals, mass production of medical supplies and protective equipment, and sweeping travel restrictions and temperature checks. When will these measures stop the outbreak? Well, the answer lies in understanding the virus itself.
Inside that building is the world's first lab-grown copy of the Wuhan coronavirus outside mainland China. It's a major breakthrough that allows researchers here at Hong Kong University to better understand the behavior of the virus.
Inside the lab, we are required to wear face masks.
My feeling is that this is just going to be like SARS, is that the world is going to get basically a very bad cold for about 5 months.
But with one major caveat, it appears the new virus, unlike SARS, can spread before symptoms arrive.
But the problem with this virus is that it does appear, is that there is a period within the first 4 or 5 days where people say they can be virus shedding, but maybe asymptomatic. So for that reason, it's going to be far more difficult to manage.
I want to shake your hand, but it's during an outbreak, so
The masks are off when I meet Malik Paris in his office. He advises the World Health Organization on the virus.
Either Indian way of greeting or the Japanese way of greeting.
He says there are two extreme scenarios. The outbreak is brought under control, or
The other extreme, of course, is that the virus is like influenza, which means that it cannot be contained and it will spread.
this has already happened with H1N1, also known as swine flu. The strain emerged in a pandemic in 2009, and now it's a seasonal virus. But for Alex Lamb, humankind doesn't need another disease to contend with.
We must stand together. We need to think positive, because one day the disease will go away.
Now the head of a group of SARS survivors in Hong Kong, he is calling for the government to take tougher measures, whatever it takes to end the latest outbreak. Christy Lustout, CNN, Hong Kong.
Now, a NASA astronaut returns to Earth after her record-breaking space mission. We'll have details on her success. That is next.
The bushfires in Australia are catastrophic. Dozens of people killed. Millions of animals have perished. 40,000 square miles of land scorched. Hundreds of blazes are still active. We need your urgent help. The Minderoo Foundation Fire Fund offers support where needed, assisting with volunteers, helping communities recover, creating a resilience plan for the future. Help now at firefund.org.
This is where authorities believe the source of the coronavirus is. It's the
와 10분 넘게 한 것 같은데 씨.
And you can perhaps see over there it's cordoned off. You've got police at all the corners. It is so sensitive that within minutes of us arriving and reporting, security asked us to stop filming. Wuhan city officials declared partial lockdown on Thursday. Crowds lined up for tickets at 4 a.m. This gives you an idea of how seriously people are taking this idea to leave Wuhan.
I'm Julia Chatterley, host of CNN's First Move. I speak with newsmakers. Do you think we're still in a bull market?
We need the world to keep pace with technology.
Risk takers? What about the prospect of an IPO, or is it too soon? And the ultimate game changers. How do you find valuable assets to buy?
The game changes constantly.
Make CNN your first move.
First Move with Julia Chatterley tonight on CNN.
Scientists are baffled by the discovery of an unusual giant galaxy that existed 12 billion years ago. A new study finds that the so-called monster galaxy formed stars at an incredibly fast rate when the universe was young, and then suddenly turned off.
Well, that phenomenon hasn't been studied before, and it's mystery. It's a mystery to this study's authors until it abruptly stopped making stars. Galaxy XMM 2599 created the equivalent of 1,000 of our suns every year for millions of years. Researchers say their observation of the monster galaxy